Can't hear myself.
There you go.
Test good. That's good.
Okay. And what?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flaming Freedom. It's Thursday night.
Do you hear anything?
The gayest night of the week. I just hear myself, but the intro music already came in. We are here broadcasting live.
We're not broadcasting. Something crashed.
We're here broadcasting live from Portsmouth, Free Hampshire, the freest place on earth and the sea-coastiest place in New Hampshire. It is the gayest night of the week, Flaming Freedom Thursday night. And I am your host with the beautiful Derek J. Hey, everyone! Hey, Derek. Derek is doing awesome setting up a new computer with all the software we need to do the show. He is a champion. Tonight we have some great topics, including Twinks for Trump. Well, actually, I just like Twinks for Trump. And I love the way that they call him Daddy all the time. Hey, Daddy, would you save all the problems for us? We got a great game show tonight. The worst Grindr hookups. I'm sure you've had some terrible Grindr hookups. Please share the Grindr hookups with us. Call in. We're flaming.freedom on Skype. I know I've had some pretty terrible Grindr hookups, but maybe not as bad as some of these that we found on the internet. We also have the corporatization and profitization of pride, gay pride. There's a story about that. I definitely saw that in San Francisco, where all of the big tech companies all had floats in the gay pride parade, and none of the people on the big floats were even gay. It was like all just people wearing Apple t-shirts with balloons and stuff. Totally not gay. I think what they should be doing is sponsoring the Folsom Street Fair.
That's a cool one. That's kinkier. Hey everyone, sorry I'm a little late jumping into the show. Yeah, as Steven explained, I was twisting some knobs, pulling some levers. But yeah, so you were saying that you participated in Gay Pride in San Francisco?
I did participate in Gay Pride.
Must have been huge.
My company, it was huge. It went down the main Market Street, and my company had our own float where the float was really cute. It had like two robots that were gay robots that were kissing, and they were like this mechatronic robot kissing thing.
Who made that?
I know that the CEO, Chris Larson, wanted the robot. It was his idea.
Isn't the new CEO of Apple Tim Cook? He's famously gay.
That's the chef of Apple, actually.
Is that what they call him now?
Tim Cook.
Oh, got
actually, in Francais, in France, the word chef is actually the CEO. Because the chef is the CEO of the restaurant. And in France, the restaurant business is like the most important business there is.
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm not pulling your leg. That's actually what it is. When you say le chef, you actually mean the CEO of a company.
Huh.
It's chief, chief
chef.
I
see.
So the word chef is really just chief, but bastardized from French.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I have some exciting topics that I wanted to get to today. I listed them all at flamingfreedom.com, where you can follow along. I'll sign into the chat room, get interactive there. And topics for the show tonight include a woman who cared for men dying of AIDS is celebrated. She cared for I don't want to exaggerate, but it was definitely hundreds of people.
Wow.
DC Pink Pistols is in the news. They had a victory, a court victory this week. Are the parents of this trans child is 5 or 6 years old, and are they fucked up? That's what I want to know. Do you think so? I think they're a little fucked up. We'll see why. I think a lot of people see them as celebrated loving parents. What do you think?
Speaking of Pink Pistols, we have a great celebration.
Oh yeah, this week.
The restart of the Porcupine Pink Pistols group.
And I've got my pink pistol on.
Yeah, you can see Derek's pink pistol online on Hangouts, and you can also see that we are in the forest with a nice forest backdrop.
Yeah, actually,
solid green forest.
Yeah, we don't have our green screen working as we normally do. That's a new thing that we started a couple
Derek
of weeks
caught
ago.
a virus when he was hooking up at Starbucks once on the Wi-Fi, and he had to reset his whole computer.
Yeah,
so always use protection when you're surfing.
Well, what I was thinking was, since we have the green screen anyway, we'll light it and we'll do the show in front of the green screen, and then you can put us in front of anything you want.
Please make it giant dicks.
Yeah, I hope it's porn.
Big black cocks is what Derek wants back there.
So what else is coming up? Capitalism. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Is capitalism incompatible with homosexuality?
I better sign out of Skype because I don't want it making all those bleepy beeps. Yeah, and then jury nullification outreach for a cop killer. This is huge. It's not specifically gay news, but people are going around. Well, we'll get to it.
Well, it is news, and we are gay.
Yeah. I just want to run down through the list of things that we've got tonight because some of them are really good.
Speaking of gay, I'm wearing a Jeffrey Tucker bow tie.
Why is that a Jeffrey Tucker bow tie?
It's a bow tie.
And he's gay?
That's right.
A man calls gays faggots. Then one of them slaps him with a purse, and then he throws a chair at them, gets 15 years in prison. Was just found guilty this week. And there's a video of that. I want to see what you think.
Don't throw chairs.
Yeah, don't throw chairs at people. Don't slap people with your purse either. I don't know who started it. There's clearly escalation there. I would love to talk about it. Killary was in a funny video this week where she was distracted by some dumb, shirtless, ugly men. I shouldn't say ugly, but they are dumb because they support Hillary.
I heard a rumor they were ugly.
Yeah. Most conservative, this is unconfirmed. Most conservative states watch the most gay porn. 17 tips, this is a good one, for happier, healthier bottoming.
Ooh, I want to read that.
Yep.
How have you not shared this with me?
This is new. Worst Grindr hookups. This is huge. I can't wait to get to that. 15-year-old boy, this is so sad, stoned to death. It's important. I don't like to be a downer at all on the show, but like, a 15-year-old boy was stoned to death for the crime of being gay. And that happened. And it continues to happen in the world. And I feel like we should talk about it, at least a little bit. Give him a modicum of attention to topics like that.
Well, I didn't know you could overdose on marijuana.
Right.
But that's a really serious issue.
Yeah. And I feel, well, we'll get into it later, but I think a lot of it's repressed feelings about their own sexuality. These people are taking it out on this poor boy who, is courageous enough. He's the only one courageous enough among them to admit that he has this sexual attraction, where I think probably all do.
Sure.
And they want to fight that, and they want to kill that sexual attraction that they're feeling. So if they kill him, that will make them feel better.
I imagine also any sexuality is repressed there.
Yeah.
Sexuality is repressed all over America, too.
Right. Gays, speaking of repressed, gays kissed in front of neo-Nazis in Madrid this week. There's a little video of that. I thought that was cool. It's activism I can get behind. A 15-year-old girl has sex with 25 boys in the school bathroom.
I think I've seen this video.
There's a video of this?
Oh, that was a boy. It's called Bukkake.
Oh. Bernie will debate Daddy. This is coming up. And, producing hot guys. The only thing the Navy is good for. Did you see this video?
Oh, my hottest friend from the neighborhood went to the Navy.
And
he got even hotter.
Yeah. Did he get dumber? These guys seem like...
It wasn't possible.
Yeah, that's right. They replaced their brains with rocks. What will feminists ruin next? James Bond? Bum, bum, bum. I don't have my sound bites.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right. So yeah, no, they're going to. That's their plan. They're ruining James Bond. That's what's coming up next.
Well, if they're gonna do that, I'm gonna get a Walther PPK.
Yeah, he gave up that gun too. It was all downhill from there. As soon as they changed guns, James Bond has never been the same. Yeah, but when we come back, I want to do 17 tips for happier, healthier bottoming.
I know 2 or 3 of these tips. I think my life's about to improve significantly.
About 17 times. Okay, cool.
Well, we didn't miss any time. The intro was still coming.
We did. We've disconnected. I disconnected accidentally at the beginning during your intro.
I know, but the intro music was still going, so it still counts.
It's not recorded.
What? The intro music wasn't recorded?
That's what I said.
Okay, sorry. Never mind. I was thinking about... Never mind. Oh. Could you give me edit access to that document?
Yes. To which email address?
Siler.steven@gmail.com. Rats. No. So far, it seems like the Free Coast is probably the gayest part of the Shire. We're very close to gay gun quit, right across the border in Maine. And I really haven't seen very many gays in Manchester yet. There's a lot of bros at the bars, but there's lots of cute guys down in Portsmouth. So head on over. We are having the Startup Society Summit July 1st through 3rd in Portsmouth. It's going to be the gayest Startup Society Summit ever. Also the first ever. What do you think, Derek J? You going to tell us about how to be better bottoms?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get the screen share on here so I can show some of these fun images as we read along.
Oh.
So this comes to us from The Advocate, from this guy who wrote about a guy with an apple. The first and most obvious tip for a happier, healthier bottoming life is consume high amounts of fiber.
Check.
The first rule of gay sex applies to bottoms of all calibers. Watch what you eat. My vegetarian friends say that they hardly need to clean before sex. They simply use the bathroom and are good to go. This is because they consume a high fiber diet, which cleanses the colon.
Well, how do you get high fiber diet? Broccoli, vegetables, green vegetables with lots of fiber, and also whole grains often have a lot of fiber. We take psyllium husk powder, which is super fibrous. And
I think that's the easiest, like, 21st century way to do it. I mean, like, we live in a time where you can just have fiber in a jar and you just add it to something that tastes good and drink it every day, and then done.
Well, get your green beans in there too, because they're delicious and full of fiber. All right, high fiber. Everyone knows high fiber. There it is.
Do you want me to skip? I mean,
you're going to read the whole thing?
I was going to share some of the article.
All right.
Okay. Sugar-free psyllium husk fiber can be purchased on its own. I've even seen it sold in capsule form. I haven't had the same good results with fiber capsules as I have with Metamucil, but some guys might.
I can confirm that. The capsules aren't as good as the powder itself.
Well, fiber is extremely good for you, and when it comes time to clean out your butt for sex, your stool will be compact and together.
That's important.
Making cleansing considerably easier. Loose, running stool is a nightmare to clean out. Anyone who's been there can attest. Next step, we have a firefighter here who's going to help us find a cleaning regimen that works for you. This is tip number 2. A cleaning regimen.
That's what I've been saying. I need a regimen that's scheduled, regular.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if that's a healthy thing. Like, you know, my fear was with a regimen, if you, like, the vagina is self-cleansing, right? And they say that if you douche too often, it's, like, not good because your body's supposed to do its own regulation, right? And the anus is no different, right? Like, the colon, it clearly does its own cleansing, and I'm not sure how much or how little I'm supposed to help that along. And if I do help it along, will my body become dependent on it? Will I, not process stool as well as I should? Shouldn't I just leave it to the fiber to do that instead of doing it myself by hand? But let's find out from the expert. You have something you'd like to add?
Well, I still clean it out, even though I use a lot of fiber in it, and it works, and sometimes you got to do it. So is a regular schedule bad?
Well, let's find out. Some guys can simply tell when they're good. These men have an uncanny ability to just know without a shadow of a doubt that their colons are clear and ready for a pounding. No douching required.
I know sometimes.
These men are mysteries to me. I respect them the way I respect firefighters and contortionists. I cannot quite believe that they can do what they do, but they do it nevertheless. I've always had to make sure things are good down there before having sex. Some guys do a pre-sex check with a lubed finger, but I don't trust my fingers, which are shorter than most dicks I want to take. So while finger checking might be convincing for some, I always fear there might be some stuff further up. This is why I almost always clean out beforehand. And let's face facts, he says. Douching, using an enema, and frequently cleaning out the ass would probably be frowned upon by most healthcare specialists. Some consider it an acceptable occasional practice to relieve constipation, but most would frown at the idea as douching as frequently as every week or more, which it could be like every day sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Oh man.
I choose to clean frequently because I like to have mess-free anal sex and have not had any problems from excessive douching. Many straight people have this idea that gay sex is a messy affair, but as Dan Savage wrote in his book American Savage, you don't have to have anal sex with an ass full of shit for all the same reasons you don't have to have oral sex with a mouthful of food, because it's uncomfortable and it makes a mess.
I bet George Costanza would be into oral sex with a mouthful of food.
Ew. Most guys have different cleaning methods depending on the kind of sex they want to have. Most guys begin cleaning in the shower with water and a finger. And for some, that's enough. Many guys move on to using a douching bulb or enema. This works for most guys too, although douching bulbs and enemas will not clean your ass as deeply and as thoroughly as hoses and shower attachments can. Did you know there were hoses and shower attachments for this?
Yeah, there used to be a hose shower attachment at my house.
Wow.
The problem was, well, there were several problems.
That sounds good.
It was really great. It would shoot a lot of water up in your, well, wherever.
That's what you want.
Yeah, but it also sprayed water everywhere because it was leaky. And it wasn't good.
Okay, but if you have one that's not leaky, okay.
Yeah, well, it was kind of intense. You got to watch out because the knob was super sensitive. So you could go like, if you twisted it too far, it would just pow a lot of water up. That
sounds like fun. I think it's good. Have you ever seen some of that porn? I've seen hentai porn where they like fill up. In this case, this was a woman's belly with water, and they'll do it up, a guy or girl, they'll do it, and even during the lesbian boner Viagra challenge that we did for Flaming Freedom, this was some of the porn that we saw where they were forcing milk into a woman's ass and making her squirt it out. Anyway, I don't know if this is true, if it could actually happen, but it made her belly expand in the cartoon.
I believe it. I believe it.
Do you think that would happen in real life? Like your whole belly would just expand?
Yeah.
And get filled with whatever liquid you're filling up with your partner?
So while a lot of gays are fighting for political freedom, we're fighting for freedom from messy sex.
Yeah.
Much more important.
I don't know. Some people like messy sex. I am not about it. I want to keep that all good and clean.
Yeah, much better to be clean. You can go longer. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. All right, coming up.
All right. Well, there's way more techniques we're going to find on the other side for keeping your cool stool. I missed that one up.
Yeah.
Something's messed up now. That's better. Aww. The famous Derek J.
Got our sound effects working. What about it?
You did the Viagra challenge?
Yeah.
What was it like taking Viagra? I'll ask you about it.
Do you want the water that you have out here?
Oh. Yes. Yummy, tummy. I didn't see the episode that Dale made where everyone took Viagra and watched lesbian porn. And I had never even taken Viagra, but it sounds like fun. Looks like Derek J participated. He might tell us about it later. But we were talking about how to keep your bum ready for a big black cock to be put up in it. And there are 17 ways to keep your anal cavity clear. Of course, the first one was fiber and cleaning. Number 3 is...
I'm not ready for that.
I don't know what it is. All right, well...
Say words.
Well, I've never even had a douche, actually. I've used different implements to inject water in that place. But apparently you can just buy them.
You don't want
at
to
the
say
store.
your asshole?
I'm trying to use all kinds of words for butthole, yeah. But I don't want to repeat each word because there's so many good ones.
I've got this crazy image of a guy's butt. I don't know if YouTube is going to let this happen. I should probably just, I don't know, whatever. Because this is what, this is number 3. If you clean out with a douching bulb. First of all, I've never heard of a douching bulb. What is that? Must be the thing on the screen. That looks like.
Oh, you know what? I have had one of those.
What do? You like squeeze it into water. It fills up with water, and then.
Yeah, it was
like,
a very poor
squeeze it
design.
again.
Yeah, you fill it up.
Why is that a poor? It sounds like a good design.
Because this one also shot water everywhere out the sides. It was just, it wasn't a good.
Oh, so that wasn't a good one.
Wasn't a good one. But yeah, it's a bulb that fills up, and then you squirt out of the bulb up into the rectum.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what Fleet is, but they're disposable.
That sounds better.
We have Fleet. I think every gay guy has Fleet at home. This one's pretty obvious. I mean, take your time. They're just adding an extra one.
We have Fleet. I've never used that.
You've never used it? Yeah,
No.
we keep it in. I mean,
I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah. Anyway, the next one. This guy's in the shower. If you clean with a shower attachment, relax. Why is that important? You know about this, Stephen.
If you clean with a shower attachment, relax?
Yeah. The tip here is, the trick with cleaning with a douching bulb is to hold the water in your butt for a few seconds. I do body squats. This is the author talking, but I do this too. I do body squats in the shower to push the water up a little deeper. The same rule of thumb does not apply to cleaning out with a hose or shower attachment. So when you use a hose, relax your ass and let the water just run out freely. Do not try to hold it in. Make sure the water is moderately warm, not hot. Have you ever done that?
Oh, no.
Have you done that?
I've had it too hot before.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I've had really hot
and
water. And
cold, too. Cold is no good either, but hot is way worse.
Cold, I can handle. Hot, ouch. You do not want to burn your anus like that, especially right before sex. You make you all like sensitive. Anyway, do not try to hold it in. Hold the nozzle in for a few seconds, allowing water to run out, then pull, repeat until clean. That one's pretty obvious too. Next. Ooh, tips for happier, healthier bottoming. Number 5, train your butt with toys.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've been working on this one, training the butt with toys. You got to start small. But if you want to be able to fit a BBC in there, you got to have several different sizes to loosen it up, don't you think?
Yeah. The author says, I have a delightful condition I call classic bottom syndrome. I have learned to enjoy the feeling of getting fucked and having stuff in my butt so much that my brain now links orgasm with anal. You could say that my pleasure focus has shifted from my dick to my butt. I admittedly do not masturbate as much as I used to, and it takes me much longer to come when I don't have something in me. I know this is true for me too.
Yeah, well,
I love to have a dildo up my ass while I come. And it's just like an association thing now, where my orgasms happen when something's up my butt, so that's how it's going to be.
Well, yeah, and it just feels so good too. I always come way faster when I have something up my butt.
Plus, the G-spot for men is there. So according to the article,
G-spot.
Yeah, that's right.
The prostate.
Not only are the anal prostate orgasms more intense for men, but some, like myself, learn to love the feeling of the anal sphincter, the circular muscle that opens and closes at the base of the colon, which is clenched tight and shut for most of your life and opens up when you have to use the bathroom, opening around an object, whether it be a penis, a butt plug, or a hand. The opening and closing of this muscle on its own can be very erotic. I discovered this sensation through toy play. Gay sex tends, and I think a lot of straight guys, this is totally safe for them to I mean, it doesn't have to be for bottoming. This is something that all straight guys, any straight, gay, I think we're throwing those words out. Any guy could start playing with toys and have a little insertion fun. I mean, guys, I think most miss out on that their whole lives. It's just for girls.
I know a lot of guys who want to do that, but also they're not actively pursuing sex with another guy, but they want to have that feeling of a toy in their butt.
Dildos are cheap. I mean, go get yourself a nice dildo. You don't have to use a vegetable.
Oh, please don't do that. They're like $5 on Amazon.
Yeah.
And you can get in any size or color. But I agree that the prostate is the most intense orgasm spot, but it is pleasurable to massage the sphincter also. It's like massaging your muscles. It's a muscle that doesn't often get massaged unless you play with toys often.
The article continues, gay sex tends to focus only on the prostate, since a good top is basically rubbing the prostate with his dick. When my ex-boyfriend and I decided to start playing with toys, I discovered sensations that I had never experienced before. I know this is the case for me too, where dicks are different from toys. You're going to have different sensations. And the dildos rocked my world. I was like, I was a new bottom. Toy play has made me a better bottom, and for most guys, is the gateway to becoming more comfortable with sex. Toys open you up and get you used to the feeling of penetration at your own speed.
Yeah.
And that is really important, at your own speed.
And you never want to, like, say you go out with a really hot guy and then you take him home and he turns out to have a giant dick. And you hadn't been practicing with a smaller toy, it's not going to be the best. It's going to be pretty awesome probably, but it's also probably going to hurt a lot. So be prepared. Come on, go at your own pace.
But speaking of toys, Stephen, you may want to, number 6, avoid those ultra-realistic dildos in sex toy shops, unless you're a woman. Most of the veiny, ultra-realistic dildos in sex toy stores are not designed for anal. I learned this the hard way, too. I got my first dildo. Oh, this was disgusting. I bought it at Danny's, which anyone in Philadelphia knows Danny's. And I saw it in the window. It looked so great. Like, oh, this is glass, and it had all these rainbow bumps on it. And I was thinking, like, this is great. You know, as a kid, I always loved the Bumby slide.
God, I had that exact one probably.
And it was beautiful. I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be hygienic. It's really easy to clean. Plus, it's glass. I can kind of like maybe put it on display with my other glass, like that I smoke out of. And it was horrible. It was so bad. I couldn't use it. And I was thinking, like, what's wrong with me? Am I not good enough? Do I have some sort of problem? Am I not a good bottom? I mean, I had anal sex before I even started playing with dildos.
But I had a glass one too. It
was
like
designed
a great idea.
It was designed for a woman.
It never felt good.
Those extra bumps and stuff, like the whole ribbed for her pleasure stuff.
That is for her.
That doesn't. We don't have a clit. It doesn't help you rub the prostate.
We have a giant external clit.
That's right. Yeah. So avoid the veiny dildos.
Just get a big meaty black one.
Yeah, even if it's modeled after your favorite porn star.
Free state, and you're looking for some real estate. Oh. Yes, great next recommendation.
What?
Most people don't ever experiment.
I know.
Occupy real estate. dance. Ow! And it's time for number 7, my favorite way to get better at bottoming. This is what I don't see a lot of people doing, which is quite a shame. That's experimenting with different lubes to find your favorite lube.
Yeah, we're finally getting to the real ones.
Derek,
everything else was like, hey, you should douche. Duh.
I've been trying some great lubes recently, and they get a lot better than the ones at the CVS, I'll tell you that.
Swiss Navy.
Oh,
they don't have it at the CVS. I think they have Swiss Navy at Target, though. You can get it in most places. You can buy it with Bitcoin. You buy it with Bitcoin on Amazon.
Or you can go to SaveItFirst.com.
Yeah. Anyway, there's lots of ways you can get your favorite lube. That's my favorite. I've experimented with all different kinds.
The Stroke 29.
Stroke 29 is a unique kind of masturbatory lube.
Yeah.
I've never heard of any other kind of lube that's specifically for masturbation.
Oh, but it is so specifically for masturbation. It's so good.
It's great. You know what I've used it for generally is like if you're having hand sex, like you're just jerking each other off. If you're in a group of people and there's no penetration sort of thing going on, and you know that, this is not great for penetration, to be honest.
No.
But if you're using it with your hand, it warms up. They call it stroke 29 because by the 29th stroke, like it starts out kind of like toothpastey. And then as you jerk with it a little bit, it warms up and it becomes almost like an invisible skin sheath where it sounds, what? Like, sorry, it doesn't sound like, I was distracted by you moving the microphone. It becomes like, I don't know.
It feels so good. And it's the perfect thing, like, for mutual masturbation. Like, at the Measy Circle Jerk at Pork Fest, everyone bring that. And it's going to feel really good. When you don't want to penetrate anyone, but you still want to feel awesome.
But here's what most people are missing out on, I think, and that's silicone-based lube. The water-based lube is what you see at most of the stores. I think it's what most heterosexual people use because women already have some sort of lubricant in their vages. They're already wet. Like the expression like, oh, I'm getting so wet. Guys don't have that.
No,
so water-based lube is going to help enhance whatever natural sort of thing you've got going on, but it's not going to be its own thing that, like, you know, it dries up, it becomes sticky really quick. The more friction and heat is involved, the more you need to use it. So it's horrible lube for gay sex. In my experience, silicone lube is like the only way to go because it stays lubey the whole time, and it's horrible for your sheets. I mean, it is just gonna.
It's so hard to get off of anything.
It is going to ruin anything it touches. It's really hard to shower it off. You know, it just requires a lot of soap and scrubbing. So just, you know, prepare for that. It's a good lube to have for sex, and I would even find it's almost too lubey sometimes.
Almost too lubey.
Yeah, like I could stand to have a little more friction. And I try not to use too much of it.
You want a little bit more feeling in there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it takes like an hour to wash off.
So the author says, my favorite lube is Pure Black Door Silicone Lube. And I've used that also. Very good lube. Pure Black, and that's spelled P-J-U-R. Or Pure Backdoor Lube, excuse me. I know this after experimenting with every kind of lube imaginable. From lotions to kitchen ingredients to elbow grease and more. That's disgusting. I've used, of course, we've all used lotion, but that is
lotion.
Not optimal.
Not the worst. Not the best.
Not the best. In a pinch, it'll work.
Like, well, many guys prefer spit, which is so much hotter.
Yeah, but
it only works every once in a full moon.
It works
once in a blue moon.
It works, but it's just not. I mean, I find it to be hot, sort of like animalistic.
Yeah.
But
it's like
it's not lube.
Brokeback really, Mountain hot.
Ugh. Anyway, number 7 is experiment with lubes until you find your favorite. You know, there's no right or wrong answer on that. Number 8 is know your allergies. Of course, this is obvious and important. I've never had anyone with any kind of like latex allergy or whatever, but the author does have one. And he says when he has sex with condoms, he uses skin, SKYN, non-latex condoms. They're just as effective as latex condoms at preventing STIs. And when he gets fisted, he uses non-latex gloves. Now, I'm not into fisting myself, but yeah, that sounds important. Know your allergies so that you don't, I don't know.
Once we develop the cells that can reproduce themselves, it'd be great to have skin condoms.
This is horrible. I mean, can you imagine not knowing that you were allergic to latex and finding out by someone fucking you with a latex condom?
Man.
He says latex allergies. Huh?
Your whole butt would freeze up.
Well, he says he didn't realize, and his sex life didn't even really begin until a friend told him that he has a latex allergy and suggested that was maybe his problem as well. The next day, I went out and bought my first box of non-latex condoms. My life was changed. Latex allergies are more common than you might realize. If you repeatedly are having uncomfortable sex and your hole feels like it's burning or badly irritated every time you use latex condoms, try a non-latex condom made of polyisoprene. Not condoms made of lambskin. I don't know why those even exist. I guess they were the first kind of condom.
When you're having sex with sheep, of course.
Well, I think they were invented because they prevent sperm from going through, but they won't prevent STIs. So, and they probably rip really easily.
Oh, those probably came before latex condoms.
What do you think about this tip, Stephen? Number 8.
Be less paranoid about poop.
Yeah, and the image here is a banana covered in chocolate.
I agree.
Yeah, this took me a while to get over.
A lot of guys that I've been with,
I'm still not over
Some guys I've been with are really paranoid about poop, and they will allow it to ruin the experience when really there's just only a tiny bit, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But it's smelly. It's like the smell of sex is so good, you know, the sweaty bodies and everything grinding up against each other. But then to have shit be introduced into that mix, especially near the bedroom, I mean,
it is awful. But sometimes that smell happens even without there being any fecal material, really.
Yeah, but that's fine to me. Anyway, the author of this article says, it took me a long time to stop asking guys during sex to pull out and check their penises for shit. Few of them would have cared if there was any, but I did. In my mind, I could not imagine having sex with a dirty hole. This paranoia has ruined sex for me several times in my life and frustrated tops who knew what they were getting into.
Yeah.
Literally. This is butt sex after all. And if you do it enough, you are at some point going to encounter traces of that other thing the ass does. The best tops may prefer a clean hole, but most of them know that sometimes the body behaves outside of one's control, even after an hour of cleaning. Whether you are a total top or a bottom or totally versatile, be less afraid of shit. It's going to happen.
My recommendation for bottoms who are afraid of the shit is if the top isn't really worried about it, don't think that you're grossing him out. At least, like, if you're grossing yourself out, fine, go take care of it. But if you think you're grossing him out and he's not
Don't assume that,
because maybe he's like, yeah, it's kind of gross, but like I really love boning your hole.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
super horny.
Yeah, like I'm
into it. Let's just finish.
You know, like we're gonna get this done. This is great.
Yeah, then we'll take care of that stuff later.
Yeah. Now, if he says like, oh, you know, let's go. Oh, let me clean this off. That's a different story.
Yeah, and that's like where the term Santorum came from too, right?
Oh, you know, I thought they named that after Rick Santorum, actually. Because that's what he sounded like.
Yeah. Number 10. Red means stop.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever encountered blood?
Bloody anal sex?
Yeah.
I have, yes. Before I started taking fiber a lot. I guess I had
Really?
not so good of a diet
Oh no!
for like maybe 2 or 3 months, and sometimes there were
You weren't counting
abrasions.
blood inside yourself
Yeah,
from sex.
anal sex.
Well, you were taking some pretty huge dicks. In fairness to you, it wasn't all diet.
I was taking a giant dick. No, but it was diet because I changed the diet. Same dick, it got all better.
Oh wow! All right. Well, keep an eye out for blood because that means stop. And there could be some micro fissures. You don't want that. Bad for HIV transmission. We'll be back with more Flaming Freedom.
Yeah. I moved to the Shire for all the giant hot dicks. I moved to the Shire because Shire boys have the cleanest buttholes around. They listen to Flaming Freedom, so they know how to be prepared for a man. Yo! School bites.
Oh God.
What?
Remember that hot guy Alex from Asheville? He's listening. I know.
Oh. The one that was sitting next to you, right?
Yeah, he says, listening now, y'all are great.
Well, we're going to have to mention it on air.
Okay. Oh.
He's probably looking for tips on anal penetration.
He said he's drunk.
What?
He said he's drunk.
Excuses. That's what you want us to think. I hope they find quick and useful application in his life.
Oh, he's so hot.
Hmm?
He's hot.
Yeah, he is.
Shouldn't be drinking. We should have a wall of dick pics.
In our house?
No, on Flaming Freedom.
Dick pics of our friends?
Listeners.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Alex. All right, I'll bring. I would love that. Everyone would love that. You almost said it. We're not joking. We're really gonna make a dick pic wall, and starting with him.
I think he can hear us. He says my exhibitionist days are over.
It's not exhibitionist if his face isn't in the picture. What?
You're taking off even more. That's funny. You want another water?
Yeah, thanks.
What flavor?
A random flavor.
We share a raspberry. You gotta talk.
Man, Flaming Freedom is the best. It's so much fun having all of our friends listen and watch and chat in and tell us that they like the show.
I'm having fun with you tonight, Steven. You know, I wasn't going to do this. I was going to call it off. I was like feeling
want to have fun tonight.
Flustered and verklempt and all kinds of overwhelmed because we got here late. We came from a Liberty meetup in Portsmouth. And I was like, oh my God, my computer's not working. So I was all upset. Yeah, I know. And now I'm having fun chatting with you, talking about bottoming.
Yeah, and our super hot friend that we met in North Carolina, Alex. He loves our tips. Hey, Alex.
Loves our tips.
He's the second hottest because you can't be hotter than Emperor Chase.
Emperor Chase.
I mean, from Asheville, of course.
Yeah. All right, so we just got through the top 10. Should we rush through
I don't see a reason to rush. This is good information. We got to get it out.
This is good. All right.
We rushed through the last one. There was still some more.
What? Oh, the red means stop? I think that's clear enough. I mean, you see red in the bedroom, like, it's over. The next one is get tested for HIV. Bareback bottoms should get tested regularly.
No kidding.
Yeah. PrEP, if people haven't heard of this, I didn't know about this until the last few times I was tested, I found out. We now live in an age when PrEP gives HIV-negative men and women extra precaution against HIV transmission, a precaution that every statistic available is more dependable than regular condom use. Wow. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Dependable than regular condom use.
Yeah.
The problem there is, like, yeah, that's great. Like, you're not going to get HIV now, but condoms still protect against syphilis and gonorrhea. And those are awful things to
all
get.
the other things.
Yeah,
right,
you're still going to get that stuff, and that is bad.
That's probably why there's been such a rise in gonorrhea and syphilis, because so many people are taking PrEP now, and they don't worry about HIV. They're like, anyway.
Well, if I was having sex with condoms with a lot of guys, I would want to take PrEP.
Look, condom... I don't know. I hate condoms.
I hate condoms. No, that's a good point. Oh...
So just like you would just get tested regularly enough, know who you're sleeping with, make sure they're tested and stuff. It's not like you got to compare charts and everything, but you kind of know.
Well, I don't know if it's like someone you don't really know, or if they weren't tested, like say they were tested 2 months ago.
Right.
But they hooked up with someone a month ago.
Yeah, it's impossible. I don't know. There's no good answer for it. I hate condoms.
Condoms are
PrEP
awful.
is a good solution. Maybe there will be PrEP for everything else. Like, PrEP is for HIV, keeps you from getting HIV.
Oh, there certainly will. Now with all the RNA research.
Yeah. So more people just need to get syphilis and gonorrhea, and then more money will flow into research.
You know, we haven't been tested in a while, but I haven't had sex with anyone else.
No. Yeah.
I know. It's just too good with you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
I have a feeling it might happen sometime soon, though.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm just reading about this. It says, I don't shame barebacking because most of my sex is bare and condomless. I am a piggy guy who loves male bodily fluids, cum, sweat, piss, spit, in that order. But I also know that my sex practices involve STI infection. So most LGBT centers say that sexually active gay men should receive a full range testing every 3 months. And since he's having regular bareback sex, he gets tested every month, no exceptions. I think that sounds pretty responsible.
That sounds very responsible. I mean, if you're having a lot of bareback bottoming sex, you're gonna get gonorrhea. And might as well get it killed every month.
Tip number 12. Ooh, this guy's hot. If you're gonna be a cum dump,
please do
it the right way.
Speaking to the audience on that one.
Yeah. The previous slide automatically leads to my next topic, being a cum dump. Being a cum dump means different things to different guys, but generally a cum dump is a guy who, for a certain predetermined amount of time, takes anonymous loads in the ass from as many guys as possible.
This is really hot to me. I love these videos of the guys being cum dumps to anonymous people in the neighborhood. I imagine, like, I bet this was going on in, like, the West Campus of university. Like, there's just some apartment where there's a guy with his ass up in the air that people are just going in and out of and using.
Damn. Yeah, and he loves it.
He loves it. They all love it.
Cum itself, for many guys, is the fetish. So being a cum dump is the ultimate goal for someone who fetishizes cum itself. I've actually had guys request me to deliver them. This is one of the weirdest requests I ever got online. But to send somebody, I have a Tumblr, submits to BBC. If anyone wants to follow along or message me, yeah, submits to the number of BBC. I get messages all the time, and one I got last week was from a guy who requested that I come into a jar, save 30 loads, and in between loads, freeze the loads. So they have to like stay fit and healthy. I don't know, like it seemed to me like he's gonna try and like recreate me. I don't want to give somebody that much sperm.
You can have my sperm and make new Stevens.
But to me, I started fantasizing about like, well, what's he gonna do with all that cum? Like, could you imagine a jar of cum coming to your house and like
you'll eat a spoonful every night. Well, I do recall one time that you asked me, you were like, hey, while I'm away, come into an ice cube tray.
Oh, I would have loved that. Yeah.
I'll do it one day.
Yeah, I would love to have.
We don't even have trays. The problem was
just don't get ice from my house.
We were, yeah. If it's in a bag, that's good. If it's in a tray, watch out. But I was living in a house with like 5 or 6 different people in San Francisco, so like I wanted to come in the ice tray, but
yeah, but you were nervous.
It was in a fridge with like everyone else.
Right.
Like that was
someone else is going to drink your cum.
I wasn't nervous that was going to happen. Just that it was inappropriate to start with. You know.
Well. Take a full range of testing from like 2 weeks to 4 weeks ahead of time. If you plan on being a cum dump, if you're like, don't just like last minute get on Grindr and be like, yeah, I'll take it in the ass from 20 guys. Like maybe do a little preparing and make sure that you're not going to give everybody a bunch of diseases. It's a good idea. So, and if you're planning to be a cum dump for a long time, definitely clean out deeply with a hose or a shower attachment. And we've got another tip. This one I had never heard about.
Flush it all out afterward?
No, not afterwards. Is that? No, before, like douching.
Okay.
For emergency trips to the nearest restroom. Oh yeah. Carry a douche with you too. Like, could you imagine you're like you're a cum dump for like an hour or two? I mean, eventually you're gonna have to use the bathroom. Like,
more stuff's gonna come down.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a tip for that too.
Don't eat.
No, that's not it. This guy's eating. Yum. The tip is anti-diarrhea treatments will keep you clean most of the time. Have you ever heard of people doing this?
Wow.
This is new to me.
We learned this trick at the Folsom Street Fair a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we went there. If you take Imodium or some anti-diarrhea treatment, and if you don't, in fact, have diarrhea, it will stop everything. After cleaning once or twice, you do not, in fact, after cleaning once or twice, the treatment will stop your body's poop-making process, especially if you take the maximum dosage, and keep you clean for a long, wild evening.
Perfect for cum dumps.
Yeah. Different gay men have argued the health benefits of doing this is probably not the best thing to do.
No, not
but
good.
Neither is excessive cleaning or really rough sex, which can cause hemorrhoids or fissures or other ailments. And gay men don't always make the healthiest choices, damn it. So, we just got to be smart about the ones that we're going to make. So maybe if you're going to be a cum dump, take some anti-diarrhea medication.
And please be tied up to a pole or something.
We've got 4 more tips coming right up next. Oh, this ad after talking about anti-diarrhea medication is just too gross.
My magic
mud.
Yes.
My cum dump is so much
enema
cleaner.
Gets my magic mud cleaned right out.
Ugh. The next one is fisting. It's about fisting.
No.
Man, this guy is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This picture is really creepy.
Like
it's like person's. Ugh.
That's the kind of guy who does fisting.
This is a fister.
A fisty. He's a fisty.
Oh, he's not the fister. He's getting fisted.
Yeah.
A Freya. Freya. Greater place.
Freya.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's like passionately free and independent.
Is Jeffrey Tucker the mascot of Flaming Freedom?
Yes. Oh my God, that's great. We should absolutely adopt Jeffrey Tucker as the mascot for
Sure,
Flaming
we did.
Freedom. We did.
It's official.
It's done. That's amazing. I want to grab that
a
clip.
Picture of him without a shirt on, flexing.
Well, there are pictures of him without a shirt on. I'll find it.
Flexing? Is he flexing? If he's not, we'll have to get one ourselves.
I don't know. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Challenge to a duel.
A penis duel? Vegans taste better? You mean their cum?
Huh?
Their cum is what he's saying. Vegans cum taste better. Okay. I don't believe it. Prove it to me. That was Steven. I'm Holland Cook. Good morning.
Stop sending me emails.
Don't email me and then call me.
Fucking don't.
Cross communication. Hello, my name is Steven. I run a business down in Portsmouth.
That's what you did this morning?
Yeah, I was like,
You
hello,
sang.
my name is Steven, and I run a software business down in Portsmouth.
And people liked that.
They loved it. I got
Cool.
several emails afterwards, like, great presentation. You obviously have great
You're good at software.
public speaking.
You sing.
They don't know about software.
Is yeah. This is
Yeah.
I
Who
Love
is
My
this?
Sex. This is the album that I gave you a link to earlier. Benito Benassi.
Yeah.
Benny Benassi. He's got all those sexy songs like Satisfaction and
I can't get.
no,
No,
that's the Rolling Stones.
Satisfaction.
Yeah. So I can get my satisfaction. Yeah, it's a sexy song. Sexy video too. All right, number 14. Let's move along here. This is fisting. Let's just get this over with. Yeah.
They want to. No, they don't.
If you want to do fisting, do it the right way. Insert the whole hand in the anus. Tends to draw gasps from people who are not into it, gay men included. Yes.
Gasp.
Regardless, fisting is one of the most intimate and erotic sex practices that I have ever experienced. Guys into fisting understand pleasure and ass limits in a way that few others do. Yeah, I'll bet. And their fraternity unified by red socks and red hankies and a gleeful love of all things ass. Disgusting. I'm totally judging.
It does sound awful. No, it is the only opportunity you'll probably get to massage the P spot.
I never want to do that.
Because you got to get your whole hand in there.
That's not a thing.
No.
All right. Know the risks, and this is number 15, of bottoming on drugs. This is really common. I saw a lot of people, what's the term that they use on Grindr for, party play, right?
Poppers.
No.
Party play.
Yeah. It's called party play, I think is the term that they use, when it means that basically people are going to be on meth. Like, you know, there's sex with meth.
What about meth?
I saw this
so
all
good?
the time in Philly, just because people are addicted to meth. That's all. Sex, drugs are invariably part of our world, so it would be a disservice of me to say, don't do drugs, and let that be the end of it. I am not sweepingly anti-drug, although I believe that certain substances, heroin, meth, should be avoided. Drugs come with a plethora of risks all on their own. They lower your ability to fight infection, diminish efficacy of your antiretroviral medication, and obviously cause severe addictions along with a slew of harmful side effects. Blah, 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 blah. Alcohol is probably the worst one. I just mentioned that. Just say, like, the most common sex drugs, ecstasy, Molly, GHB. That's unfortunate. Yeah, GHB.
Oh, no. There was a story about GHB and the worst Grindr hookups.
Oh, no. Really?
Oh,
damn. Are we even going to get to that?
Yeah, we're going to get to it.
All right, let's move along.
It's the next segment.
It's the next segment. We're going to get to
I didn't put that story in the quiz, but it is awful.
What? Oh, you didn't put the story in the quiz?
No.
Maybe we can read it later.
Yeah.
All right, so next, work with your tops. Some tops like a submissive bottom, others like a dominant one. You will only learn this through communication. So communicate. I
like dominant bottoms. I like when bottoms try to be dominant.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that they're going to win. So it's the most fun when Derek tries to be dominant. That gets me going, but, you know.
I try to fuck you, and I rarely can. It's like a wrestling match, and I'm usually pinned.
You get me sometimes. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually I use one arm to secure the entire body.
It feels like when I was a kid, I would wrestle my older brother, and like he was 10 years older than me. So like I'm trying to wrestle my older brother to the floor, and it's just like it would just one swipe or one finger could really just keep me away. All right, even if you are, that sounded so dirty. Blah, 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 work with your tops. Yeah, I mean, this is obvious, right? There are exercises you can do to train your hip muscles and lower back muscles to make you a better bottom.
Yes, Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Will open up your hips.
The sphincter itself is a circular muscle that can be stretched and exercised like all other muscles in the body. And certain ass training toys like Kegel bells, Benoit balls, and smooth butt plugs can be used to exercise your hole while making it better at opening and clenching. There is an absurd idea that bottoms do not do any of the work in sex, which is false. Not only do bottoms typically have to clean out beforehand, but we also get to set the tone and speed of sex and control its advancement. Good sex is about exchanging power and playing with different degrees of dominance and submission.
Indeed. The bottom has to like get their hips in the right place and make sure that it's going in right.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of work. It's got a lot of muscular things going on down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I mean, maybe I'm just still not that experienced, but I was surprised at how difficult it can be as a top to get your dick in the right way. It almost always requires a bottom's assistance to be like, oh, a little higher.
You gotta know how to maneuver his ass into position, right? Yeah, you gotta reposition his hip bones and just get it right, and you gotta have muscles to hold it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta set the plate.
Yeah, you weren't even really trying to set the table.
Yeah. So blah, good exchange, blah, blah, blah. Second task, no pointers or rules because every top is different and has different things that get him
I like
off.
that it says good sex is about exchanging power. That to me is exactly what bottoming and topping is all about, is dominance and submission and exchanging power and trust.
This last one is another throwaway. Celebrate being a bottom. There's a lot of bottom shaming in the world. You know, I feel like everyone was a bottom in Philadelphia, and they even alluded to that at the gay club we were at last time we were there. They were like, who here's the bottom? Like, everyone shouts, and like, yeah, fucking Philadelphia. Yeah. But, like, I assume there are places, San Francisco had a lot of tops.
San Francisco did have tops.
Yeah.
I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah. Well, celebrate being a bottom. Number 17.
Austin had a lot of bottoms.
Invariably, bottoms are the ones that get teased and mocked in most gay discourse, and tops glorified. There's a very ugly, misogynist, heteronormative reason for that. That this invariably comes from the idea that guys who fuck are a step closer to being straight and even male, while guys who get fucked are automatically feminized, degraded, gayer, and a step closer to women.
I would say that women who get fucked are a step closer to being gay.
Yeah. When I first came out of the closet, this is the article author speaking, I announced myself as a top. I did this so that the straight men around me would see me as closer to being an equal. I was afraid of femininity and afraid of being perceived as gay stereotypes and flamboyance, and did everything I could to appear differently, including calling guys bro and topping only. Badly, I might add. My topping phase lasted through... Yeah, I like that too.
I like doing a fist bump and saying, good job, bro.
Yeah, I like broing out with guys.
Yeah, it's hot. Because
it's male bonding. We like being bros.
Well, broing out and having sex with other men.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's manly.
Yeah. That's very hetero.
So the next time you go hunting, do so with confidence and self-love. You are not lucky to find a good top. A good top is lucky to find you.
That's right.
So love your butt, love men, and love men being in your butt.
And advertise yourself. The good tops are looking for these good bottoms. You know, you'd think it's easy to find you, but it's hard.
Well, you can give an indication on Grindr. They have the up or the down arrow.
Yeah, that's useful. Well, we're going to talk about some awful Grindr stories.
Oh, speaking of Grindr,
the break to the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel
love this ad.
Oh.
NDR. Ross.
What did Alex end up saying? Something about him being too far away. I'll get in the car now. Oh. Where is he? Washington still? DC?
My sister likes my post.
I hope she's watching.
She might be.
Oh, tomorrow I need to go down to the county, and file for party affiliation with the Gens.
Oh, cool. Should I ask him if he wants to play Win Dark Chase stickers?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to read the stories. Or you can. If he wants to play, you can read them. If he doesn't, then I'll read them. Hey, 4 viewers, we're at a high.
Sam Gurry is tuning in.
What do you say?
Sam Gurry is tuning in.
You want to play? No. Everybody get up. I'm feeling beautiful tonight, everybody. I hope you get a chance to go to flamingfreedom.com to watch the live video stream of us with our beautiful selves out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We've been talking about how to have better bottom sex.
Butt sex.
Butt sex. And this is a great service we're doing for the community.
Yeah. I'm hoping that somebody who listens to this tonight is going to explore their butthole today.
I hope someone gets a new toy they've never had. I hope another person is more effectively cleaned out and can have some really rockin' butt sex. I think that all our gay anarchist friends need more rockin' butt sex, obviously. So I'm glad to serve the community tonight. Now, the next thing is the big event of the night, Flaming Freedom. We have another episode of Win Derek J's Stickers. Now the game is, we have 6 questions, and if you can correctly answer a number of them that I haven't yet decided, you win Derek J stickers. If you don't answer the number of questions correctly, you have to be fisted. By your mother. Never want to lose. Win Derek J stickers. Fortunately, no one has lost yet, but we're looking for a sexy young contestant to play the game tonight. Do we have a contestant available, Derek?
I think so. I'm working on getting her connected.
All right. All right. Well,
do you want to read one of the stories that are not part of the show?
We have some pretty freaky stories here. I'll read the one, since that one drug was mentioned, but I don't want you to see the actual stories, Derek. It'll spoil it. Unless we actually have a contestant.
Yeah, we do, but first read the stories and I'll get us connected. So should I pull one up for you? Where are they?
Do you have that the webpage up?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, scroll down to the one that mentions those drugs. Not that, the actual page where they're all on. First link on the same page. Yeah. And so this is a whole list. Guy's worst Grindr. You can enhance that for me, get it to be like giant mega text. And scroll down to the one, what was the name of that drug? Anyway, I've never taken this drug, but it sounds awful. All right.
GHB?
GHB. Yeah. I met a guy on Scruff. We got a hotel room, did GHB, and passed out. Is this a thing? When I came to, I had a pentagon painted on my stomach in blood. There was also blood smeared on the walls and on the sheets. This is this is just awful. It turns out he had been sounding. You know, when you have an erection, you take a metal object,
Ew, have you done this?
And you put it in your urethra.
Ew.
No, I have not done this. Well, he did this with a hypodermic needle. He put it up.
Ew, oh my God.
Dick.
Wait, was there a drug in there?
I don't know if there was a drug in there or what, but he started coming to and started robotically cleaning things, seeming to understand that the room needed to be cleaned, though he obviously was not sure why. He then went into the bathroom for an hour to talk to his ex-boyfriend on the phone, and every word was God or Jesus, the ultimate self-loathing homosexual. Oh, how terrible. Who made this up? I hope someone made that up. They're really creative. I had to make up some of these because the game tonight is we're going to read a list of stories that are awful, terrible Grindr stories. Some of them are real, and some of them are made up by me. And you have to, as the contestant, discern which are real.
And we have our special guest, contestant, who I guess could be anonymous for tonight.
Contestant J.
Contestant J, welcome to the show.
That's J for hand job.
So, contestant.
Oh,
yes.
Hello, welcome to Flaming Freedom.
Thank you, contestant Handjob. Thank you for being on the show. I
We
didn't
name
know.
our contestants like hurricanes.
Yeah, I didn't want to give a name. I wasn't sure. So we're. Oh, really? Okay, well, that will be dramatic. So, the first story.
Pull up
The way that-
the
yeah.
list of stories.
Okay.
Did you hear the way the rules work?
Yeah, she did. She knows.
Derek, on
She knows.
the Google Doc. All right, story number 1. We're going to read a list of terrible Grindr stories, and you have to decide if they are real.
Cool. I'm glad you're rendering
Oh,
video.
I bet your cache is just stuffed full.
Hot. Well, you here.
You're probably paging to disk.
All right, read the first one.
All right, story number 1. I met this cute twink on Grindr who wanted to come over to hook up. While we made out, he held my arms behind my back whenever I moved to touch his body. After blowing me, he flipped me onto my knees and handed me a blindfold and said he wanted to fuck me while I was blindfolded. His dick felt so good inside, and I came hard. But when I pulled off the blindfold, the dude turned out to be a girl in her underwear wearing a dildo. Not my gold star.
Ew.
Well, it seems like he had a good time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not real? Correct. The very end. I blew it.
Not my gold star.
It's not real.
So you made that story up, Steven?
I made that story up.
Is this a fantasy of yours?
No, but there was this one time in Austin, there was a guy on Grindr who was out in like East Austin, and he said that he was in his garage, blindfolded and tied down to a workout bench.
Hot.
And he wanted me to come slip under the gap in the bottom of the garage door and fuck him from behind. And so that reminded me of this story. But you were correct. You're 1 for 1. Number 2. A guy sent me pictures of himself naked and wrapped. That is what it's for. Yeah, think of all the people who have come together because of Grindr and
Oh
these
my
things.
God, so many.
Yeah, even Derek and I met on Grindr 10,000 miles apart, and we.
That's
came together.
not true.
No, it's not true. Our first date was at a jury nullification reenactment. Anyway, that is true.
That is true.
A guy sent me pictures of himself naked and wrapped in saran wrap from head to toe, with only his dick out, along with his boss's name and email address and his parents' contact info. He offered to pay me $50 a week to hold the keys to his chastity device, essentially this thing that kept his dick soft and covered, and to threaten to send the pics to his work and his parents if he did not do as I said and stay locked up all week. The only time I was allowed out of the cage, he was allowed out of the cage, was on the weekends when I would wear a black leather glove and give him a milking. He even sent me a contract outlining the whole situation.
Wow.
I never ended up meeting him, and the whole
A
scenario
contract from Grindr?
was something I was so not into. but I was intrigued by his bizarre desires nonetheless.
So, is this story true or false? Did this really happen, or is this a made-up story?
I know that Derek's into this.
Yeah, I am into this.
And we'll find out on the other side of our trip to the free market. You think that's the final answer? Correct. It did happen. This is a thing that happens a lot. People do this. I've seen the contracts.
Yes.
Very good.
Woo!
Break.
Thank you.
I'm going on break. I noticed that there are now 4 viewers online, and I'm pretty sure it's because they heard we started unbuttoning our shirts.
Right. We'll just keep going lower all night.
For all you people online, this morning I went to a business networking event, and I was supposed to introduce myself to all these business people, and I had 1 minute. So I decided to sing my introduction, telling them that I was new to the area, and I decided to be spectacular and fabulous. And it was a lot of fun.
Gay.
It was obviously gay.
Was there anyone else who was obviously gay and singing show tunes?
There was a woman who was pretty obviously gay, and she said that she loved my show tunes.
Hey, I want to know about our contestant. What video were you rendering? And maybe there's something I could do to reduce some of this delay, if it's at all on my end.
Is it Skype?
Yeah.
You don't have theme phone, do you?
No.
I realized my spirit animal is a Mustang. A wild Mustang.
How do they sound?
I discovered that because I was running really fast and my ponytail was flying around and it felt like a horse. But not any horse, because I'm not in a cage with a saddle. I'm free, running the mountains.
When are we going to New York City?
When are we going to New York City?
Yeah.
Probably after PortFest. I don't know. We don't have plans to go to New York City.
Yeah, we should make plans.
Yeah, well, don't you think PortFest needs to happen first?
PortFest needs to happen first, but I do want to make plans to go to New York City.
I think
so that
that there's a party in August that I want to go to in New York.
Cool.
You think that would be a good time to go?
I wish you could be sooner.
Yeah,
Summer in the city
I
means cleavage, cleavage, cleavage.
August is totally summer in the city. It's so hot in New York in August.
Yeah. Were we there in August?
I know.
You
It's hot everywhere in August. It's freaking August.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas is the worst in August. Even September's pretty bad. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Oh no! This intro music means we're wrapping it up.
last segment.
This is the final segment of the show.
All right.
The shirts aren't even all the way on.
We got to get on with this game show.
Okay.
Contestant hand job. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right. Story number 3. You're 2 for 2.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for your sticker situation. It's about to improve immensely.
All right. Well, some twink popped in asking for 420.
Oh, sorry. Here.
Story.
Sorry.
All right. Some twink popped in asking me for 420. When I didn't have it and tried to talk to him, he suddenly said he was busy.
Oh.
Aw, he just wanted to get high.
Yeah, that happens. I've never had that happen personally, but
I wish people would just say, like, do you have 420? You know, can you sell it to me?
They advertise it normally.
Yeah.
They'll put it right on their Grindr profile.
Is this real? Is this real or did I make it up? That was a story.
That happened?
Well, yeah, it happened, but did I make it up?
Yeah, she says yes.
Yes, it happened. That's a real story. All right. Great job. You're 3 for 3. Now, a guy from Manhunt came over to hook up, and we started getting naked and rubbing each other. He then asked to use the restroom quickly. After 20 minutes of waiting, I knocked and knocked, finally opening the door to see him sitting on the toilet. I can't read it, Sarah. Sitting on the toilet, hunched over lifeless with a needle on the floor. Oh my God, I was so freaked out. I dragged him outside and let him spend the night in the backyard. Oh. Is this real? Was this actually on the story of the worst Grindr hookups? Contestant hand job.
There's a slight delay. Is it real?
She said, though. It's fake. Yeah, it's made up. Why did you think it was made up? All right. Well, that was a fake story. Actually, some of it was real, some of it was fake. All right, next story.
Last one.
A guy wanted me to pee on him, so I did it all over his face, and he got really mad. Not in my eyes, he shrieked.
Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want it. Doesn't matter.
Well, all right. I don't know if you heard the last story, but a guy wanted me to pee on him, so I did, and he got really mad, said, not in my eyes.
Ew.
No one would ever say that.
I don't know.
Everyone wants it in the eyes.
I want it in the eyes, yeah. I want it all over my face. Everywhere is good.
Yeah.
I think use it as shampoo.
As long as you don't pee on each other's pee, then you have peeception. All right, last one. I walked in and the guy was much chunkier than anticipated. I debated bolting, but figured I'd stay. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Of course it's real.
The P one is real?
Yeah.
Oh, right. It isn't? I thought it was.
Relatively sterile?
You are the best contestant so far. You have answered the most questions correctly.
One more. Do we have time?
Yeah, sure. Let's do one more.
All right. I walked in and the guy was much chunkier than anticipated. I debated bolting, but figured I'd stay and go through with it out of pure charity and because I was extremely horny. Well, as I moved toward him, the guy put up his hand and said, no way. I couldn't believe it. That was my rock bottom.
So the guy who was chunky actually
The chunky guy turned down the guy who was saying this.
What? Oh, is this real or is it not?
He probably thought he was going to be too. Dun, dun,
oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is it?
It's real. Oh man, this has only happened to me once when the guy was chunkier than I thought. Yeah, it happened to me once, and I was like, "Fuck it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it anyway." I've been waiting all night for this.
But then, did he turn you down?
No, he didn't turn me down.
No, I've done it. I walked
Turn
away.
me inside
He had
out.
one of those like upside angle photos where I couldn't really tell that he was fat, and then when I got to his house, it's like, come on, man, like you clearly fooled me. I mean, I didn't say this, but like
He wasn't
Yeah.
that fat.
yeah. Well, contestant handjob, you have won
Wow.
some very valuable stickers that I will be sending.
Those are
through,
limited edition stickers.
through the government mail. Socialism for packages.
You know, if we can get some Bitcoin donations, we'll stop using government mail. We'll stop using mafia mail. We'll use the real mail, market mail. But you're gonna have to, someone's gonna have to put up the $10 for that.
Well, thank you very much for being on tonight. We appreciate you being a part of Flaming Freedom.
Thank you, contestant handjob. We love you. Yay! Now this is, oh man, all the effects, they're exploding in my face. I love it. All right, well, this was a wonderful episode of Flaming Freedom. Once again, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thank you to our lovely, beautiful, wonderful guest. And of course, the magnificent, excellent, brave, and courageous Derek J. You are wonderful.
I don't have a sound effect for that.
Thanks for making this show happen, Daryl.
Daryl.
Daryl Perry.
You're so
I love
great.
your ads in the middle of this show. Wow. I guess I could remember my man's name from time to time.
Maybe. We have time for one more. I would just really want to quickly get to this one because it bothered me so much.
Oh, man,
This is
controversial.
a 60-year-old, I know, we're going to open a can of worms like right at the end here, but seriously, this 6-year-old kid, you know, I don't know how I feel about all the gender this or that, whatever, but the parents are fighting for the rights of their 6-year-old transgender daughter, according to them. Cody Mathis was just 18 months old when her parents noticed that she was starting to identify more as a girl than a boy. When Coy was little, everything was girly. She liked to wear dresses. She liked to dress up, her dad said.
Sounds normal.
That's normal, and I don't need to associate a gender with wearing dresses.
Dresses are just a style of clothing.
Yeah, that's not being girly.
It has
That's
nothing to do with vaginas.
right.
I have dresses. I'm not a woman.
When she started asking us when we were going to go to the doctor, excuse me, when she started, I know, sorry, it totally,
Turn around.
it snuck out. I was not, I mean, I'm a professional. I didn't intend to do that. When she started asking us when we were going to get to the doctor to cut her penis off, adds her mom, that's when it became a real problem, and we reassured her that we would do everything we could to make sure she was happy as an adult. Now, this is really fucked up because it's like kids don't think on their own, when do I go to the doctor to get my penis cut off?
Who put that into her head?
Somebody said something to her that made her think that. So when, and her, him, whatever.
Doesn't
I mean,
turn
it
out to
doesn't
be her
matter.
parents.
Yeah, so when Coy turned 6 years old in 2013, so she wasn't even 6 at this point. She's still 6 years old. Her or almost, she's like, I guess 9 now. Her family entered a lawsuit against Coy's school after the principal refused to let her use the girls' bathroom.
Ugh.
The school used male pronouns to discuss Coy's gender in their explanation of the situation. Coy's family soon entered a media frenzy in order to combat their daughter's school and to further transgender rights for young people. I think they are mistaken, well-intentioned, mistaken people.
Transgender people don't have rights. People have rights.
Right. Well, there's a documentary about Coy directed by Eric Hula, produced by Jeremy blah, blah, blah. Growing Up Coy follows the family's legal battle and eventual win. Coy's case is one of the first in the nation to address transgender bathroom rights. And so I'll just stop the article there. You can read more. It's at flamingfreedom.com.
If these people cut off their son's penis,
They're
need to
doing
be charged
harm.
with sexual assault.
Yeah.
They need to be. Yeah, that's not good. Not good. That's not what you do to people.
Yeah, I have a lot of sympathy. Like, I get that kids are going to want to do whatever they want. I'm not for, like, raising a kid into a specific gender role. Like, you're a man, so you got to play with trucks and you can't wear dresses. Like, do what you want that's safe and fun. But when you start talking about cutting off parts of your body,
No.
maybe leave that alone for a little while. And then when you start going in court against people to force them to do things that they don't want to do, like open up their bathrooms to you, like, why don't you just let them use the who cares what bathroom they use? They're 6 years old. I mean, have a co-ed bathroom. It doesn't even matter. Anyway.
Well, the moral of the story is keep a clean butthole for that anal sex. Now that you know the tips, you know all 17 ways to get it done.
We'll be back next week. Crazy, crazy episode.
That was a fabulous episode. The list of
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for everyone who stuck through and is still watching
Yeah, I
this
can't
show.
believe there's so many people watching right now.
I'll bet you all have the cleanest buttholes you've ever had in
Yeah.
your life after watching this.
If you notice, my butthole is cleaner since I know you noticed.
All right, and catch us at the next Pink Pistols event. Follow us on Gaynarchist group on Facebook and FlamingFreedom.com.
Oh yeah, click follow on the YouTube.